new venue, long walk. Let's go and see what we can do. Well, it's years since I've been here, so let's get some height, get my bearings, and see what's what. Yeah, we're on the wrong track. I was going over there. Need to be going there. There's the rocks in the distance. There's the big house. And just to show you, I'm not telling fibs about how cold it is. Look at that. The water's gone hard. Proper hard. And there's a rock. I think we're going to go over that side of it. Plenty of people fishing out on the end there. Can't beat a bit of walking on sand. Always a pleasure. But as you can see, what a mark. Imagine spinning that for bass in the summer of an evening, standing on there, spinning over those rocks. They're going to be there, or maybe out on the end there fly fishing. They're going to be there, and that coming into view there is the famous Morva Beach. As someone said the other day, that's like Aberafan Beach times 100. And just over there is the Kenfig River coming in, which attracts flatfish and what have you. And the mussel beds are zoom where the water goes from calm to slightly rough. That's where the mussel beds are. Anyway, we're going to go out here somewhere, see how far out we get. It's only a small tide, but I don't fancy getting cut off. Anyway, this is Sker rocks. So I picked a small one, yeah, and tried to scare him. But it seems rocks are not that easy to scare. So I'm going to let that one go. Maybe we'll pick on another one later. So off you go, buddy. Yeah, look at this ground. This is bass heaven. Come a summer, or even maybe April. You could fish off there at high water and onto this. Or you could come at low water like I have now and fish into the sea. I have heard on a good fishing trip, you only fall over twice. And seeing as I fell over the other day when I was out shooting, counting that as one. And I've only been out here twice in my entire life, which is really dumb because I only live over there, so I should have been here all the time. I know last time I came here I decided to fish behind the surf, basically here somewhere. Let's go over here so you can see. So I fished here behind the surf. I was hoping for turbot, just got doggies. It does look good. Anyway, we're going to go out a bit further because the tide's not till 20 past 3. Where are we going to go? Because I know what'll happen. If I go there in half an hour, I'll be thinking I should have gone out there. So let's go out there and then maybe work our way back in steps until we're behind the surf or something like that. Obviously on a big tide there's lots of gullies to cut you off, so you wouldn't want to possibly be doing this. You want to come here 2 hours before low water, fish it down 2, maybe up 1, and then hoof it back to where you've got a line of sight to the beach, so you don't get cut off by some 10-foot deep gully filling up 100 yards behind you while you're not noticing. Like these, you wouldn't want to be wading through this because you wouldn't get very far. Oh, we're definitely attempting to fall now. And you don't really want to fall on this stuff because it's sharp and knobbly. I think we want to go there on that big flat bit. You can keep an eye on the tide. Look at the depth of that. If that fills up and you're on that side of it, you can't exactly wade through that. But we're going to play it safe because there's only me, and you never know, I might fall asleep in the sun and wake up drowned. Stranger things have happened. Are we going to go all the way to that one, I think, there? Yeah, why not? Has to be said, the ground is getting worse to walk on. I mean, admittedly, the conditions are not the best because it's so calm and so sunny and so generally pretty. And there's boats out there, look, they might be after cod, anchored up. Ledges out there all over the place. So. You know what? I think this flat bit here is going to do me for now. This bit. I've got a nice place to put my bag of crap and dip my coat in the water, ready for the standing round in the cold. Although it's not cold down here. So lovely. Okay then, sorry to spoil your view in my ugly mug, but as you can see, there's only me today. So this is Snaplink fishing coming to you, not quite live. It's after Christmas after all. I'm definitely 91% dead. From Sker Rocks, Porthcawl. What a fabulous place it is. So, the Snaplink radio show will be camping here for several hours while we attempt to catch conger eels or dogfish, maybe a flatfish, whiting, whatever. Who cares? Look at this day. It's bonkers. Compared to the weather we've been having, this is ridiculous. So, I'm going to set you down somewhere where you can't bug me too much. You can sit here for a bit, and I'm going to go and set out my fishing tackle and bits and get a couple of rods out and go from there. So, seeing as it's more or less set up anyway, we're going to go with the heavy rod first. So we'll be having half a joey mackerel on here and hoping for an entire conger eel. Although half a conger eel will do. We're not fussy, but we would like a fish. For the technically minded, 6 ounces of grip lead, 80 pound shock leader, 250 pound hook length, big, massive, humongous hook onto which we're going to chuck our fave joey. Some of which I prepared earlier by cunningly going to Knee Hat Shop on Station Road, Port Talbot, and buying these little tiny mini mackerel. A bit iffy about the fact that they're catching mackerel that size for bait, but they were there, so what the hell. Look at that. Mini mackerel. I think I just put the whole bloody thing on. I just cut his tail off to make him. I'll have a bait out of that then. There we go. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Stick him on one of the wires for casting. Plonk. There we go. Perfect conger bait, if there's a conger eel out there. Not far out, only about 70 or 80 yards, but there's a good old depth. We're going to leave him to dig in and set up a scratching rod with 2 3/0 hooks to see what we can find. There's a decent puller tide already, even though it's a little tide. So you can imagine what it'd be like if you were fishing a spring tide. You might want 8 ounce leads, put it that way. The ones with the long nose wires they use on boats. But that sort of current does attract a fish. So this one is going to be just 2 3/0s, super simple. We're going to chuck a 4 ounce lead on. Don't know why I'm telling you anyway, because you're not bloody listening. So you can imagine by this point in the video you've already gone. And I'm on my own now, which is okay. Where are all my 4 ounce leads gone? 3 is probably not going to be enough. And that box definitely had 4 ounce lead weights in it. So that's all I use a lot of the time. We'll add a sand eel to this one. Half a sand eel even, because we're just looking for whiting and whatever. Let's try half of the sand eel. And there we go, no finesse whatsoever. And we're going to chuck this one straight out and hope that it'll grip. Again, not very far, 70 yards. Slightly less depth. So we're going to let him trundle around a little bit and see if he'll grip. Maybe give him a tiny bit of slack. And I can maybe put this one on the ratchet. No, we can't, because the current is just taking line like mad. So we can't do that. All we can do is put my balls away. Well, we're fishing. I like this tide run. There's plenty of it. Maybe we should come back down here with a, don't know, big squid bait stuffed with peeler crabs and have a go for a cod, if such a thing exists. Surely there's a cod left somewhere. Now I'm going to turn around so you can see my best side. Aha! Yes, actually on a day like this, I don't care whether there's any action or not. There's 2 chimneys over there where the smoke is going straight up. Give us a bit of global warming to warm things up a bit. And I got a feeling I could do without all this clobber. Should have worn the mankini, would have been fine. Not for you, just for me. Well, the big rod, with its 6 ounces of lead, has gone right up that way. Now it's come to rest, so maybe it's stuck on a rock. Next time I'll throw it out that way more. Surprisingly enough, the small rod, scratching rod with 3 ounces of lead, holding the bottom just fine. And who the hell is trying to bother me now? It's Pi. It's Horatio. I'm going to send him a picture. Well, Welsh Water and the various other people have excelled themselves with a massive pile of plastic and things. Not nice. Right, so a bait check on the big rod, see how much plastic we're stuck with this time. Bait has been severely pinched and not too much plastic. There's plenty around this leader knot. Better sort that out. Another nice simple bait. What the hell? Ready to cast. Looks like the charter boats are coming here. Charter boats are all congregating here on my spot. Obviously not doing that well where they were. Had a little bit of a bang then on the big rod. We'll have a look. Doesn't seem to be doing anything now. Untouched, so get him back out there. I think we'll be pushed off this little spot soon, so we'll have one more cast, whatever. Nothing on this one anyway. Got to be said, it's deathly quiet. You'd have thought there'd be a dogfish out there somewhere. Little breeze going up now. It's only a bit naughty. It's like feels 10 degrees colder now than it did half an hour ago. Well, those boats don't seem to be doing very good either. What can you say? Thought it might be too perfect when we came down. But we're here, so we're good. So water's coming up by the side of me now. Give it another 15 minutes here, then we're going to move down there so we're behind the surf and see if that makes any difference. The water's getting very close. If there was a bit of a swell up, we'd have been long gone. Guessing those boats are out there on one of the ledges. So there's ledges like this here now in front of us, under the water as well. Anchor your boat right, you can drop the baits right into the edge where the fish are. And my guess is that's what they're doing. Probably both on the same ledge, just different parts of it. But I don't see a lot of activity. I see a lot of lurking in the sun. But this here water is coming closer, unlike the fish, which are non-existent. Everything looks good, except the rods aren't moving. That's a bit friendly. Not much of a swell, but it's coming up here. The most sensible thing to do is to move. Without a doubt. Bloody crap. Going to end up losing gear right in front of me just because the amount of sodding plastic on the line. Now the leaves and twigs have come down the rivers, of course, just like they always have, but the plastic will also come down the rivers courtesy of Welsh water. This one's covered in plastic as well. Green plastic this time, some of it's just come off. Right listeners, we have come in from where we were, opposite them boats, and we are now just behind the surf really, 150 metres behind the surf at the moment. We should hoof the big bait out first. I'm guessing this ought to be ray country, surely. I mean, it wasn't that long ago we fished a wall of F-all and people were catching rays in the daytime 200 metres behind the surf, which is pretty much where we are now. Well, balls that one up. Right. Okay. Unhappy rod rest. There we go, no finesse whatsoever. Again, no finesse. In through the gill cover. Thread him up a little ways. And there we go. Don't know why I'm bothering because there doesn't appear to be any fish yet. And we're going to throw this one towards the land. Amazingly enough. Like so. Give it 5 minutes and you've got to watch this red algae stuff because it's pretty slidey. The rocks out on the end were just barnacles like down there now. That's better. Perhaps I should be down there. There's one big difference, there's almost no current here. Looks like they're off. I haven't seen any movement on that boat. Or that one there, he's off in search of a new mark. There's another boat come in there in the distance in the sun, but they don't seem to be doing any better than me. So there's a small boat coming there from Porthcawl, one going back to Porthcawl, one still here. 20 or 30 years ago it would have been codling and whiting and everything out there, and congers, possibly rays. Now it seems to be nothing. So, spend 100,000 quid on a boat, go a bit further out, still nothing there. Doesn't bode well. Anyway, my new spot isn't producing, their new spot isn't producing, and the other boat's gone right across to Port Talbot. So, if you've got to come from Porthcawl in your boat and go straight across to Port Talbot, something wrong, because there should be plenty of codling, whiting, congers, rays down Porthcawl way. Kind of suggests there's no fish anywhere at the moment. So we'll stay a while longer and see if we can scratch up something tiny or anything at all. Even a crab. Boris the crab would do at the moment. Never mind, it's a good test for my new microphone, because previous to this, assuming it all works, with its little hamster on there, previous to this all you would have heard is and that would have been that. So we'll see. With my new techno, whether we have conquered the sound waves, because for sure as hell ain't conquering the sea waves. Maybe they've given up because it's almost the end of 2025 and they went, nah, sod you, we're going on holiday till next year. That could be it. Fish have got a sense of humour. The absolute swines. But it'd be nice to have a fish before I go and do battle with the parking app or whatever the hell I've got to do with that. Apparently that car park I'm in, you use an app, but you can go to the main Kenfig Pool car park and use the machine to pay when you leave. Well, I got to have a look. There's nothing happening. Totally nothing. May or may not be down to a lack of bait. Okay, now we have bait again. Always good. Is it just the sunshine? Because the water's pretty dirty, so if you were down 10 feet, I should imagine it's going to be quite dark. And out there where we were before, the big rod was landing in some deepish water, 20 feet, 25, 30 feet perhaps. It should be dark enough down there with all this mud. Although the water is relatively clear for this end of the Bristol Channel at the moment. You'd have thought something would be moving. It's about 2 hours to top tide now, and we haven't had a bite. I mean, the big baits keep getting stripped off, but every time they've come in when I've had a look, the guts have been pulled out. So Crabby the crab. The other boys who were fishing further over have been pushed off. Their mark is underwater now, and they've moved, I can see them now, further east towards Porthcawl. They're on about a level with me now. We're on the other section of rocks, but whether they've had anything, I don't know. It's not exactly tarpon fishing in Florida, is it? Or any sort of fishing in Florida where they actually have fish. I think we've been mismanaged to death. It's a case of turning everything into pound coins as quick as possible. And when it's all gone, we'll just go and do something else. I did talk to a trawler skipper once, and his comment was simply that when there's no fish to catch, he'll sell his boat and go and do something else. So he wasn't bothered. It was just a business to make money, just like selling spanners. Make any difference? The only difference is it affects everybody else. No doubt he has sold his boats and gone off to sell spanners or something, but him and everybody else have left the place in a pretty shitty state. And I take some of the blame myself because I've not been the most environmentally friendly person in my life. I have a diesel car, one of many I've had. I like to go tuna fishing, burns diesel, keep snakes, burns electric, so burns coal or gas. Just like you, everything I do has an effect. So when I'm having a whinge, I'm having a whinge at myself as well. Wow, there's a surfer now. He's up that board all the way from the car park through here. That's dedication, because it's a lot heavier than a couple of rods. Especially now he's got here and the waves are only 2 feet tall. Bummer. Well, little snap fans, we came, or I came, saw, didn't conquer, bugger all. Might have annoyed Colin the crab, and that's about it. So, don't know what to say, except that we shall see you in the next episode of Snaplink Radio Show, fishing for bugger all as usual, so it would seem, and we'll try a different mark or come back here on a different tide, I don't know. Get some of the other boys out as well, so we've got more bait in the water. So, I guess it's good night, Irene. Smoke me a kipper for breakfast, and see you next time. Ta-ta for now. Oh, and like and subscribe and go and have a cup of tea, lie down, whatever. I don't know. I would after watching this. Chin chin.